What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park ENT. Glad to be back for another one. Hope you guys are doing well. You know, I noticed as I set up the office for a different way for the 488th time, if you've watched these episodes, you've seen me just completely try to figure it out. I think we've got it. But I always put the logo when I say welcome to the show right here. And now I have a big billboard of the logo right there where it goes. So, I don't know, whatever. Just thought I'd put that out there for anybody watching on YouTube. Maybe you noticed that. Anyways, I am glad to be talking about some more sports. Obviously, today is going to be another one of the NFL episodes where I do my this week 4 picks. Talk about some other stuff up top and then do some bets at the end. Before I get into the episode, I just want to briefly mention, I mentioned this last one, I'm going to mention this again. If you support the podcast and if you watch, I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, comment, share, however you can support that is greatly appreciated. But if you want to partake in the episode, if you ever want to leave a comment, you ever want to have your voice be heard on an episode, that's possible. I have that feature available, and I've had it posted below the link for the audio on every episode. Now I'm posting it for the video one too, because I want you guys to be able to participate. I think it's a good way for me to be able to answer questions and for any of the listeners just to be able to, I don't know, give me some notes or whatever, or just talk. I don't know, whatever you want to do. So that link is available in the description of this episode. If you want to partake, please do. And as always, you can go to www.thedavidlopez.com to check on any of my music or any of that stuff. And you can go to www.passionparkent.com to check on any new podcast episodes, any new movie projects, any new episodes of our shows we do. Right now I'm in the midst of doing Live from the Host Stew, which is really just me performing a new song every single week. Right now it's just songs from my old catalog or my catalog of music that I have, and then going forward there'll be new performances of unreleased music and of new music as it goes. But so anyways, go to passionparkent.com to keep up with all that. That's enough of that jazz, mumbo jumbo, whatever you want to call it. Let's get into the show.
David Lopez is the name. It's my show. Welcome to it.
All right, so I'm a little bummed out. The Cubs just lost in game 1 of the playoffs. Yesterday I briefly talked about, in yesterday's episode when I was recording, I briefly talked about how I really do enjoy that the playoffs and the season was all just compressed for baseball. I think it's too long in general anyways. It's a hard sport to keep up with. It's a hard sport to pay attention to. But I enjoy baseball. I'm not trying to completely bash it, but I like the idea of at least compressing a season. And the playoffs too, at least with the first round, they were expanded by adding a team, but compressing the style of it. There's only 3 games, meaning that you got to win 2, obviously. So when you win game 1, you're already creating an elimination game in game 2, which is pretty intense. The Cubs lost a nail biter today. It wasn't really a nail biter. It kind of was. They were winning 1-0 going into the 6th. Kyle Hendricks gives a 3-run homer. Cubs offense can't score. Pretty much that simple. So tomorrow's an elimination game. So that'll be pretty intense for the Cubs already. The White Sox won game 1. They got a victory. And then today they actually had an elimination game against the A's. They had a chance to move on to the second round. They lost. So they'll be going to game 3 tomorrow, I think. I think they're just going straight through because I know the Cubs play tomorrow for game 2. So I think there's just no days off, and that's how they do it. So it is exciting, though. Like, literally, every single game is so important. Every pitch was so important. Watching today's game, I don't know. It was the playoffs. Playoff baseball is so different. Is there any sport that is more different from the regular season to the playoffs? Every sport, there's a level of intensity that goes up in the playoffs. No doubt. But is there any sport where the intensity raises as much as in baseball? Because baseball, especially in the regular 162-game baseball season, there's so many games. I feel like it's so lax in general. Like, the intensity level is low. It's just you can't afford to have a high intensity level for 162 games. It's just hard to do. So therefore, it's a little more lax. And then when the playoffs come, really gets ramped up. I don't know if there's any other sport that's like that. Football's unique in the sense that it's long, like it lasts a long time, but it's only 16 games. It's 1 game a week. So every game is so important. That's whether that's college or or NFL, obviously. And basketball, the NBA, there's a distinct difference from regular season basketball to playoff basketball. I'll definitely give it that. But there are games during the regular season that definitely seem more playoff-like, whether it be the holiday games, the primetime games, just some of the intense TNT Thursday night matchups. Like there are some of those games where it ramps up and you can see it, but just on a regular basis. I don't know. That's an interesting thought. That being said, I put my rally cap on for the Cubs, and I am expecting Yu Darvish to come on the mound tomorrow and go to work, and hopefully the Cubs can get a victory. So when I talk about any sort of baseball next week's episodes, you will have a full, awareness of whether or not I'm sad about the Cubs, and hopefully both the Cubs and the Sox advance. I think that would be awesome for the city of Chicago and just awesome for me as a fan. Right. All right, and then I'm going to get into my picks. I'm actually going to go straight into them, pretty much I'm going to turn my computer around, and I'm going to get on my computer and do the picks right here. So I haven't done them yet, so I don't know where I'm going to go. What's going to happen is I'm going to do the picks, and then after I do that, I'm going to do a little section that includes my bets. It's going to have everything that happened to me bet-wise last weekend, which I have some stuff to talk about. And then I'm going to make my 5-team parlay of the week, which is what I started last week, and I said I'm going to do that going forward. 5-team parlays every week. That is going to be my thing. But I'm going to make my picks first, because then based on those picks, I'm going to make my parlay. I don't want to ever make the 5-team parlay and have one of those picks be against the pick that I make on the show, because I'm also trying to be real and support the picks that I make on the show. So if there's any fans out there that are going with my picks, I want you to believe in them, and I want you to know that I believe in them. I'll also talk about how I did this week. But anyways, before I do that, because what I do is I go through game by game. I'll talk a little bit about the teams, and then I'll give my prediction. So that being said, my Bears talk, when I do that, is Bears talk, but it's still smaller than what it could be, and what is due for right now is a real Bears talk. Because guys, I think you know what happened. We had a big moment in Bears franchise movement history. I don't know if it's really that big of a move in history. It will bode to be a big move in history if they can win a Super Bowl or something like that. But I'm not getting ahead of myself like that, okay? But the Mitch Trubisky era looks to be done and over. He was replaced in the second half of Game 3 against the Falcons by Nick Foles. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Big Wiener Nick, as they call him. Yeah, Big Dick Nick, they call him. And you know what? He came through and really lived up to his high-pressure nickname that he has, because he balled out. The Bears were down 26-10, came back and won. I mean, they dominated. So, he dominated, should I say. Look, it's simple. It's kind of been far overdue. It kind of seems like Coach Nagy wanted to make the move for a long time and finally was just like, look, I have the time to do it. I don't even think he really wanted Mitch to start in the regular season, but he did give him a shot. I mean, that's fair. He gave him a shot. Mitch, he made the comeback against Detroit in Game 1. That's good for him. But you got to remember, you only make that comeback because you were in that situation, which he put them there. He had been playing notoriously bad. He is not a good just doesn't know how to run the offense. It looks as if he doesn't, because what you saw with Nick when he came in right away, well, Mr. Foles, should I say, was that he just got the ball out. The offense looked so much crisper, and it's not like, I mean, he was making good throws, so that's important, but it's not like he was doing some Patrick Mahomes crazy stuff. What he was doing was running the offense, and he looked like a real quarterback, drop back, makes the decision, whatever. It just looked like a real offense, and it was awesome as a Bears fan to see, because we've just been struggling so much with seeing an occasional Mitch scramble for 25 yards, and then the next play looks like he was trying to throw to a receiver that's on the sideline. It went 4 feet short, and it hit the ground before he hit him. It's just, we're sick of seeing that shit. So it was really cool to see, and Coach Nagy has already said, as we all thought, that Foles is going to be the starter going forward. He's starting Game 4. This coming up week against the Colts. But not only that, he really made it sound like he's going to be the starter going forward. He made it sound like it's a long-term plan, and Mitch isn't coming back anytime soon, barring any injury. And that leads me to the point is that we must remember and can't get too far ahead of ourselves. We, of course, as Bears fans, a lot of us, I've seen a lot of people doing it, getting like, all right, we're going to the Super Bowl now. Nick Foles did it with the Eagles as a backup. Now he's coming back in. Yeah, there's two notes. This leads me to two things. The first thing is you got to remember he was a backup, and that there's something to be said for that. He's had a lot of injury issue, and he has always been a backup that comes in and just lights it up. And so let's calm down here. I think there's still a chance that we are going to see Mitch Trubisky again this year. I really do think there's a chance. I think in my start of the season predictions, I said that I thought that Mitch would play 10 and Foles would play 6, or maybe it was 8 and 8 or something like that. It was very close. I think that there's a chance. I mean, I'm hoping that we don't get to that point. You hope that Mitch Foles that Nick Foles now gets to start 13 games as he didn't start the first 3. You hope that. I hope for his health that he starts 13 games. We get to go to the playoffs. You got to remember, starting off 3-0, you're already really have a high chance of making the playoffs. You just cannot suck it up the rest of the year. I mean, I don't want to say high chance, but you have a much higher likely chance. I don't know what the percentage is. I'm sure I could look up the stat. 3-0 teams, the percentage chance that you make the playoffs. I have a feeling it's pretty high. So we've started off well, and that being said, if Nick can stay healthy, maybe we can get 10, 11 wins. And once you get in there, who knows? You got Nick Foles. But the real point here is we got to calm down. There is a chance we see Mitch, so we can shit on him a little bit. You feel bad. He handled it very professionally. That was great. You could see that his teammates respect him because they came up to him and hugged him. They were all talked really positively about him. Look, it's not his fault. He was the second overall pick. It's not his fault. Pat Mahomes is going to turn out to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It's not his fault. It's not his. I was going to say it's not his fault that he's not that great, but maybe that's true. It's partially his fault, too. You got to work to get better at things. So it's funny because it's not your fault that you're not good. Well, it kind of is, kind of isn't. There's some natural stuff there, but there's also some, you could work harder and just get better at your craft. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Mitch has reached his limit as a quarterback. I think there's probably still some more he can get, but certain things I just don't think. We talk about a touch a lot, especially in basketball as a big man. There's certain things it's hard to teach touch. Even somebody who's not that skilled, but if they have this certain feel and touch that you around the rim, those are things that are kind of hard to teach. And I would imagine as a quarterback, I've never been a quarterback, but you can see it from Mitch compared to other throwers, compared to Russell Wilson when he's throwing a deep ball, or Pat Mahomes, like I just mentioned. Just a little touch, just to drop it in, the ease. I mean, even Nick Foles, the throw that he makes to Anthony Miller to win the game, drops it right in there where it should go. My most upset point of the game when Mitch was playing was when he missed the bomb to Anthony Miller in the first half. And that's that happens far too often for Mitch, was missing the big play. And I know that was driving Nagy crazy. Anyways, Bears fans are pretty optimistic. I know my wife, who's a Packers fan, was like, oh, God, now I have to hear about the Bears fans saying that they're going to go to the Super Bowl because of Nick Foles. Because it really did blow up like that. That's how we react. But I just think we're all excited to see a real offense and to see the ball moving. And now this offensive wizard coach that we have, Matt Nagy, doesn't really have any more excuses. He has a guy in place that knows his system, that he believes will throw the ball exactly where he wants it to. He usually schemes guys open. So if he is the wizard that he is, I think that we're going to have a chance to see it here. And this is pretty exciting as a Bears fan. I don't know. I don't know if my expectations are completely changed. I'm trying to relax, and I am kind of relaxed because I still think there's plenty of holes. And I just got to see it for more than a couple games. I got to see a full game of Nick Foles to really know what we're working with here. And we're playing the Colts this weekend, which I guess should be a decent test. But I'll give you guys my pick when we get into that. I just had to say the Mitch Trubisky era seems to be over, but it's not completely over, which is what I want to say. I think there's, who knows? It's not completely over yet, but we didn't opt in for. I think he's done after this year. It's over in that regard, so I will say that. So there goes the Mitch Trubisky era. We're moving on, Bears. It hurts. It still hurts to see Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson do their thing. It does still hurt. But I got to be honest, I'm kind of over it. We've been watching these games, watched Watson and Mahomes in game one, and we're like, oh, shit, this hurts, whatever. I'm kind of over it. It is what it is. They made a mistake. It's a monumental, catastrophic mistake for your franchise, but you got to move on. Ryan Pace can't dwell on that mistake for the rest of his career. If he's gonna be around and be a GM and be a successful GM, he's gonna have mess up drafts. That happens. Not always are they gonna be as big as this one looks like, where you fail at drafting the best quarterback of all time, maybe. And that's a pretty catastrophic mistake. But look, Jordan got passed on. He was the number 3 pick. Nobody blames the number 1 overall pick, but that number 2 pick is a miss, all right? And these things have happened. Darko Milicic in the Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James draft. These things have happened. Now, do people keep their jobs is the question after that, and can you recover? And I think it's good now that we're finally hopefully getting a clean break and we're moving on. And but now we got to decide. I've heard some people say about this, and I haven't even tried to get into this yet because it's kind of then we don't want to look at the dark side yet. But then if Pace gets the benefit of the doubt because we right the ship with Nick Foles, then we have to trust him to draft another quarterback. And do we trust him to draft another quarterback after, like I just detailed, the catastrophic mistake, whatever you want to call it, that was made in his first real attempt at drafting a franchise quarterback. So I mean, we gotta, I guess that's long-term thoughts, but for now, we're happy as Bears fans. Looks like we have an offense that's gonna function. I don't know. It looks like it. With that being said, let's get into my week 4 picks. Woo! All right, what's up, guys? Let's do this. We are here at week 4. We have made it to week 4 of the picks. I want to say up top how we did last week. It was a decent week, honestly. I got 10 right, and I went into the Monday night game tied for first place. So that was pretty exciting. But that being said, there was 3 of us tied for first place with 10. And I was the only one that had the Ravens picked in that game. And obviously, if you saw the game, the Chiefs really just took it to them. They dominated. They looked like the better team. They looked like the Super Bowl champions. That's what they looked like. And Pat Mahomes looked like the Super Bowl MVP and the MVP. He just looked super good. I mean, the Ravens are real good, but they struggled. Anyways, that being said, I lost. I got second place. So those 2 guys, actually, it came down to the tiebreaker, which was, the actual score of that Monday night game. So it was a close battle in our league this week. We have most of our league is picking above 60% right now, so pretty decent. I had 10 the first week, 7 the second week. That was rough, and then 10 again week 3. It was it's okay performance. There's a couple games that screwed me in bets, and also screwed me in this, which really could have given me a victory. I thought I had a chance at winning this week finally, but. That being said, we're going to get a victory here going forward. We're going to get one. So let's be optimistic and let's do it. So we're going to start here with this Thursday night matchup. Broncos-Jets. What a thriller. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the Jets look like the worst team in the league. Both these teams are 0-3. Broncos have a lot of injuries. So that's an issue here. Man. The Jets they have a chance at going 0-16. I mean, they look so bad, but now the Broncos are only favored by 2.5 because of all the injuries. Drew Lock's not playing. Their defense is pretty good. I just think the Broncos have it better. I'm going to go with this one strictly on coaching. I'm going with the Broncos to win by a field goal here. So I'm going to take this. It's going to be one of those shitty Thursday night games that ends up being close. It's going to be like 13-9 or something like that. So I'm going with the Broncos on that. All right, now we go right away into the game that I care about. We were talking about the Bears earlier. They're 3-0. This is the matchup that tries to get them to 4-0 in the Windy City on the lakefront. The Colts are favored, though, here. They're getting 2.5. They got to win by 3. You know how I usually go here. I try to be realistic, honestly. If I think the too many points are being given either way or whatever it may be, I'll try to be. But pretty much I always pick the Bears, let's be honest. And in this game, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pick the Bears. I've heard even some of the people that I like that are Bears fans that are picking the Colts that are just saying we can't. I think it's too good for us to believe that we're 3-0 and they've had some flukish wins. And now the Foles era begins. And I think it's just too good for a lot of us to believe. So people are going, they can't beat the Colts. I'm going with it. We're going 4-0. We're not only going to beat the spread here of the Colts beating us by 2.5, but we're going to win this game. So I'm going with it. Bears 4-0. Take that. Bears going 88-0. Take that. Actually, 16-0, 19-0. Bears going 19-0. Bears. All right. Moving on. Jaguars, Bengals. We got a Joe Burrow, Gardner Minshew matchup here. I like, like I've said before, I do like Joe Burrow. Didn't really get to watch the Bengals at all this weekend. I don't even. Oh, they had the tie game. Yeah, actually, they hurt me with that tie game they had because I'm trying to remember who did they tie against here now. I'm struggling to remember here, but I got it. Who did they have the tie game against? Oh, the Titans? No, the Steelers? No, it wasn't Steelers-Titans. The Steelers-Titans game is postponed, though. That's right here. I can't figure out who they tied against. The Eagles. Duh. Yeah, that game killed me because I picked the Eagles in one of my parlays. Anyway, so the Bengals had a tie game, and the Jags. The Jags. I said last week's Thursday night game, watch, Fitzpatrick was going to have one of his Fitzmagic games, and they were going to win, and I, for some reason, still picked the Jaguars. And boy, was I wrong. So now in this game, Cincinnati is got to win this game by 4. They're getting favored here. Man, this is kind of tough. I picked Jacksonville last week, and they really let me down. I have a tough time picking them again here. I'm going to go Joe Burrow's getting his first NFL win against Gardner Minshew and the Jaguars. I'm going with the Bengals. They got to win by 4, though, but they're going to do it. I'm going with the Bengals. All right. Browns, Cowboys. Here we go. Cowboys lost a pretty good game last week again, so they're 1-2. This is pretty big desperation time for them. Cleveland Browns 2-1 here. Dallas got to win this game by 5. I think the Cowboys are better. Can they beat the Browns by a touchdown? They can. They need to. Probably. It's important for them to get back to 2-2. You know, they're one of those teams. Like I said before on First Take, they talk about all the time. It's Cowboys and Lakers. That's all they talk about. If they fall to 1-3, First Take goes insane. Cowboys are getting this win. They're winning by a touchdown. Going with the Cowboys. All right, Saints Lions. Oh, these Detroit Lions came back and got a victory. I was really hoping that they wouldn't, especially because the Cardinals are who I needed in my to make some money. They really killed me last week, the Lions did. But, some people are picking the Lions to have a decent season. Some people think they're good. I don't. But maybe I just don't like them. Who knows? Bears. New Orleans got to win this game by 5. They're 1-2. It's a big game for them, too. They had that loss to the Packers. In Detroit, I don't like Detroit, like I said. I think New Orleans is going to win this game. And I guess they're going to win this game by a touchdown. They're going to show, because Drew Brees is getting all this shit. People are talking shit about him. I don't think he's been looking that good. But he's going to have one of those games eventually that people are like, oh, no, he still got it. And maybe this will be that game. That doesn't sound like a promising pick from me or a confident pick. But I'm going with the Saints. I just don't want to pick the Lions. All right, this game, I guess we're still picking it. It's still on the ESPN lines here for the league. I'm guessing they're going to scratch it off. Steelers-Titans was postponed due to COVID. The Titans had a little outbreak. It sounds like a couple of the staff and a couple of the players got it. And so they had to suspend the game for this weekend. So I'm still going to pick it just because, let's see. So Pittsburgh is favored here by 2. They got to win by, or they're going to 1.5. They got to win by 2. And I think they will. Pittsburgh looks really good this year. Titans look good too. They came back and beat the Vikings, which was a great victory, but I don't know how good they are. They're 3-0. I'm taking the Steelers in this. They're gonna, if they even play. I don't know what that's gonna be, but all right, moving on. Seahawks, Dolphins. Dolphins not good. Dolphins are getting 6.5. Seahawks got to win by a touchdown. Seahawks 3-0. We're talking about Russell Wilson MVP talks. Too early to talk about the MVPs, but these shows are looking for things to talk about, so they just do it anyways. So I'm going with the Seahawks. I just don't. I mean, the Dolphins, like I said, Fitzmagic did his thing against the Jaguars, but the Seahawks are the real deal, so I don't see that happening. Although the Seahawks defense isn't phenomenal. They've been giving up points. So maybe Fitzpatrick scores a little bit, but a touchdown seems reasonable for me for the Seahawks to beat the Dolphins. So I trust Russ there. All right, this is a big matchup. It's 2 0-3 teams that people did not think would be 0-3. Well, I think people could have thought the Texans would have been 0-3. Now, if you just said, will the Texans be 0-3, you'd probably say no. But if you said, let me see their schedule, and you would say they lost to the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Ravens, you would be like, oh, that makes sense that they're 0-3. So that makes sense. The Vikings blew the game against the Titans, so they probably are closer to having a victory. Houston's favored by 3.5 here, so they got to win by 4 against the Vikings. This is tough. I like the Texans and Deshaun Watson, and I don't really love the Vikings, but the Texans without DeAndre Hopkins, I think, are really impacted. I think this could be a really close game. I think I'm going with the Vikings on this. I am. Vikings on that. Not necessarily to win, but I could see it being very close. So I'm going Vikings. All right. Cardinals, Panthers here. Cardinals got to win this by 4. The Panthers are getting 3.5 here. McCaffrey's hurt. So the Cardinals killed me. All right. I mentioned the Lions hurting me, but it's really the Cardinals that they should have beat the Lions. They killed me. They were my only loss in my 5-team parlay. And so I'm like, I think we're going to get this from this team, though. Kyler Murray, young. People are talking about maybe he's going to have a breakout season. He was rookie of the year last year. But it's probably going to be up and down for this team, but they're so talented that I think they're going to have a good year. And the Lions were pretty desperate. They had to get that win. So, that's a loss that hurts, but it hurts probably me more than them. I think in the long term, I think they're going to be good. That division's really good, so they got to win every game they can, and they're not going to let the Panthers come in and beat them. Not going to happen. It's in Carolina, sorry. But I got Arizona winning this game by a touchdown. All right, Chargers, Buccaneers. Buccaneers got to win this game by 8. They're getting 7, or the Chargers are getting 7.5. I think the Buccaneers are going to go on a little run here. The Chargers are not bad, though. So 8 points is decent. The Chargers have a good defense. Yeah, this is actually, I didn't think I would have to think about this that much. I thought I would just go for the Buccaneers right away. 2 scores, though. 8, Chargers decent. I'm going with it. Touchdown, Tommy. Go with the Buccaneers. They got to win by 10. Don't do it to me, Tommy. Don't do it to me. God. Tempted to change that. I don't want to change it. I'm going to leave it. All right, Ravens, Redskins. Oh, Ravens, you killed me on Monday night, but I can't blame you too much. You lost to the Super Bowl champs. It's my fault for picking you. You were favored. You just didn't, Lamar Jackson 0-4 against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. So not looking good. That's something they gotta come through and beat. That's like a career, one of those career blockers for him that he's got to come through and defeat. Like Jordan going through the bad boy Pistons. That's what Lamar Jackson got to go through Pat Mahomes. And that's the thing. Their careers are going to span right next to each other. So we'll see, like you said, the next 10 years is going to be a great quarterback battle. All right. Ravens got to beat the Redskins by 14. That's a lot of fucking points, man. 2 full touchdowns. I got to go with the Redskins on this. I just got to believe that Ron Rivera can keep it a little tighter than that. Maybe it's a 10-point game. Going with the Redskins. Not that confident because I do think I don't know, man. 14's a lot. So I'm going with the Redskins. All right. This is another big one. Giants, Rams. Giants are getting 12.5. Rams got to beat them by 13. That's a lot. Although I think the Rams are good. Rams look good. They lost that game to Buffalo. They shouldn't have lost it. There was a bad pass interference call at the end. They should have won that game. But they came back and should have beat them. 13 points against the Giants. Don't like it. It's a lot. But the Giants don't have Saquon Barkley. They don't have anybody. They don't look good either. All right, Rams are going to be the one big cover I'm going to take. Rams got to beat them by 13. That's what I'm going with, I guess. Guess we're doing it. All right, Bills, Raiders. Now, we got a good matchup. Josh Allen, everybody's like, holy shit, looking like the MVP. Amazing. 3-0. Las Vegas Raiders, 2-1. Off to a pretty decent start here. This is a close matchup here. Buffalo's got to win by 3. Raiders are getting 2.5. They're in Vegas in that brand new stadium. I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to come down to reality a little bit. Josh Allen's not going to play as amazing as he's been playing, although like I said, people are talking about him, MVP. He's looking great. I'm going with the Raiders on this. Going with the Raiders. All right. Pats Chiefs in what could be the game of the week, in my opinion. This is the one that I'm probably most excited for. Cam Newton and the Pats, who are 2-1, looking good against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 3-0. And Mahomes just did his thing against Baltimore last week on Monday night. This is a nice matchup here. Kansas City's got to win by a touchdown. I like it, but I'm going with the Patriots on this. I think it could be like one of those last-second field goals. I think it's going to be a close game. And if I don't know, I'm going with the Patriots on this. It's one of those regular season things. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win this game and then the Chiefs play them in the playoffs and the Chiefs beat them in the playoffs. So I'm going with the Pats. Sorry, Pat. It's 2 weeks 2 weeks in a row picking against the Chiefs. Probably not a good idea, but I just did it. I don't know. All right, Eagles, Niners. Niners got to win by 7, 6.5. They got a lot of injuries though. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo's playing. I don't think he is. He didn't play last week. Mullins played. It looked like he played well. A lot of teams are suffering injuries, so that's an issue. But the Eagles need a victory. And the fact that this is 6.5, a full 6.5, so they got to win by a full touchdown, that scares me away a little bit. I'm going with the Eagles, even though I don't trust Carson Wentz. That tie game, I mean, what if that tie game actually proves to be the right choice and they need it because they end up 9-6-1, and they're the team that needs, they get in because of the tie, and like the Cowboys are 9-7. It's possible. So they need to win every game they can. So I'm going with the Eagles on that. All right, and then finally, the Monday night matchup this week is the Atlanta Falcons, who the Bears miraculously came back against. I don't know if it's that miraculous. The Falcons seem to be just blowing games left and right. They're just giving them away. Like to take big leads and just give them away. So the Falcons against the Packers, who the Packers are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers, I think I said this in the beginning. Most people, everybody's saying he looks like he's on a mission. Looks like he's pissed about the whole Jordan Love draft thing. But yeah, so that's happening. This is another one of those big spreads. Green Bay's getting 7.5. They got to win by 8 points. I think Green Bay is going to win this game. I don't love that spread though. I tell you that much. Because I mean, what if the Falcons do the same thing? Get a big lead and then blow it at the end, and the Packers win by like a touchdown or win by 4 points. So I'm going with the Falcons on this. And actually, that's exactly what I'm going to say because I have to pick the score for the tiebreaker. I'm going to go with it's going to be Falcons 27, Packers 31. Yep, so they win by 4 because they got to win by 8. Not happening. I'm going 31-27 Packers. That's my prediction, and those are my week 4 picks. I'm pressing submit. Go through Wi-Fi. It did. All right, week 4 picks are in, and that's that. Week 4 picks, baby. I'm going to go back and get ready for my bets. You guys trying to make some money? Come on. All right, I'm back. Hope you guys enjoyed my picks. I hope I'm helping you guys out at all if you're trying to decide who you're going to gamble on during the weekends. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys know how I did it. This is what I said I'm going to do every single week on the same episodes that I make my picks. I'm going to also talk about my successes and woes gambling in the past weekend. I'm going to give you guys a 5-team parlay that I'm going to make for this weekend. If you want to make it with me, that'll be fun. If you do, let me know. That'd be cool. And if we win, if we hit together, then, I feel like we're really bonding. But anyways, so I had some actual successes this weekend and some near bigger successes. So the 5-team parlay that we made on this show was very nearly successful. I really, really have a goal of at least making the one that we make public and the one that really hits. So Arizona was the only team that didn't hit in the parlay. The Bears and their stunning comeback. That was a different bet I made. Sorry, that wasn't a part of that parlay. But the Bears did. It covers. That was nice. And that being said, I won that bet. So let me say about the 5-team parlay. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place. The 5-team parlay, the only team we didn't get to cover was Arizona. That was a pretty good odds there. Would have turned like $20 into 500, I think. So you do the math on that. But you do the math on that. But Kyler Murray and the Cardinals could not come through against the Lions, so that hurt me. I also did another 5-team parlay myself, and I lost it by 1 game as well. So that was kind of annoying. Actually, no, I lost. Yeah, I might have lost that one by 2, so not as much. So the 2 5-team parlays I did this weekend were not successful. I lost both those. But my successes, I will say, I did the same thing I did last weekend. I don't know. I told this last weekend during my bets is that I drove to the Illinois border since I live in Wisconsin, made my bets. I had my coffee before on an NFL Sunday, had my coffee, made my bets, drove right back up, watched the football games. Really enjoyable NFL experience. So I'm okay with how this is. It would be nice if the sports gambling was legal everywhere, but for now, this is what I'm doing. Anyways, the successes I had were it was the Bears on the spread and the over. They got it. It was the Packers because they played the Sunday night game against the Saints. The Packers I took there on the spread, which I also took in our spread league, and the over, got that. And then it was the basketball game. I took the Heat and the over, and I got that. And all of those were 3 separate double parlays, like taking the Heat and the over, parlayed those together. Those aren't like crazy bets, and I'm not betting a lot of money. I'll just tell you guys, like for those, it was like $5-10 bets. It's like $5. You turn $5 into $20 right there, basically. So nothing crazy, but they're still like fun small bets for me. It gives incentive. Like I said, I'm just getting into this more now, especially now that we're allowed to do it online via FanDuel and DraftKings. So anyways, like I said, I'm sure I'll make a couple bets this weekend, whatever, like I always do. But the 5-team parlay of the week that we're going to do every single week, I got mine right here, and I got the odds, and I'm going to place this bet. Actually, I'm going to place this bet tomorrow because I will be in Illinois, but also because I'm including the Thursday night game in this. Okay, so the 5 teams. And these odds are a little bit different, by the way, than the ESPN spread odds that I use in my league. So if you match it up, you'll hear Denver in the league on there was 2.5. In this, they're 1.5. So Denver plus 1.5, Arizona minus 3.5. Sorry, I should note this. These are the FanDuel Sportsbook odds. So Denver plus 1.5, Arizona minus 3.5, Dallas minus 4.5, Seattle minus 6.5. And Philly plus 7. So I don't know. I'm never completely confident. We're just kind of guessing here when we're gambling. But these are the ones that I'm going with. I made those picks as my picks in the league. I couldn't go with any of the wider spread. Like there's like a 12.5, 13.5. Those are just so tough to bet against. So I really have a tough time betting against those big ones. So those are that. I'm going to say it one more time. Denver plus 1.5, Arizona minus 3.5, Dallas minus 4.5, Seattle minus 6.5, Philly plus 7. And odds there plus 2,617. So you bet $500, you turn that, or you bet $50, you turn that into $1,300. Bet $20, turn it into $520. So yeah, that's what I'm going with this weekend, guys. This is the bet. I'm hoping for success. I'm seeing success this weekend. It's gonna happen, and you guys are hopefully somebody out there makes this bet with me, and we can celebrate over a virtual toast or something like that. So let's hope for that to happen, right? All right. And as always, thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the David Lopez Show. I am going to go watch NBA Finals Game 1. We'll be back next week to talk about how all these sporting events have gone. As always, I'm really enjoying doing these. So, remember to subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that. If you want to leave a verbal comment, you can do that in the link in the description for this show. I would love to hear from you guys. And go to PassionParkENT.com, go to TheDavidLopez.com, and just enjoy yourselves this weekend. I appreciate all the support we've been getting. Go Bears is what I'll say on that front, and I'm going to go enjoy the NBA Finals. So, peace, one love.